July 28, 1758, a man's head was cut off on the guillotine at the Place de la Concorde in Paris. His name was Maximilien Robespierre, the infamous leader of the Jacobins. When he died, the reign of terror that had suffocated the citizens of Paris came to an end, and a Directory came into power. The Directory came up with a series of measures to calm the public sentiment, but none of them bore fruit. The Directory, which had seized power by chance, was left without a center and just wandered around. In addition, the remnants of the Royalists and Jacobins were trying to regain power everywhere. Barras, the leader of the Directory, brought in Napoleon, a young officer who had distinguished himself in the Battle of Toulon. Ironically, it was Robespierre who placed a star on Napoleon's shoulder. The Directory, having lost 2 elections in a row, decided to overthrow it by force. At this time, an anti-French alliance was organized in Europe, and civil war broke out in the southern regions. Since then, France suffered from internal and external troubles. The copycat CS hastily summoned Napoleon, who was on an expedition to Egypt, and plotted a revolution. On November 18, 1799, Napoleon dissolved the National Assembly by force under the pretext of preventing the Jacobins from returning to power, and declared the establishment of the consulate as the first consul. This was the so-called coup of the 18th Brumaire. This marked the end of the French Revolution. The French, who had experienced both the reign of terror and the reign of apathy, wanted to place their hopes on the young officer. Napoleon, who had been on a winning streak, declared himself emperor in 824 and ascended to the throne as Napoleon I. That day, Beethoven tore the cover of the Tribute Symphony and rewrote it. The Max Symphony was written to bless the memory of a great man. Napoleon, who had been exiled to Elba after the failure of the Russian expedition and subsequent defeats, escaped from the island and returned. In mid-June 1815, he had his final showdown with Wellington, the British commander-in-chief, at Waterloo in Belgium. Perhaps because of his bad luck, Napoleon was defeated in this battle without being able to properly command due to his chronic illness. Napoleon, who spread liberalism throughout Europe, died alone on St. Helena. My life is like a novel. When I die, pity for me. Whisper.